Hey, good morning, Joe Deary, Powerful Improvements, Putnam, Connecticut. Today is Monday, March 17, and we spent last week washing like crazy. This week, I took care of a couple of details that I've been meaning to take care of for most of the winter. One of which is I installed my NOCO Genius battery charger. We self-tap that right into the cage of the 275 tank. And we've got it wired right to the battery, and I ran the pigtail under the reel, and it comes out right here for me to be able to plug in when I back into the barn, keep that battery good and charged. Both of my machines that I run normally have a rectifier, so they're charging the batteries as we go. I haven't had a problem, but it's nice to charge it fully and let it sit and trickle overnight sometimes, so that'll be ready to go. One of the big upgrades I've been wanting to make is the installation of this pulse pump. This is sweet. I bought this from my local tractor dealer. You can buy these online. They come plastic and metal. My understanding is that the metal ones are a little bit better and last a bit longer than some of the plastic ones do. And this runs off a vacuum. So there's a little air diaphragm in here that pulsates and runs on vacuum from the carburetor. You can run these a few different ways. Some guys will run this vacuum line over here to the valve cover. There's a vacuum line here. You could drill a little hole in the valve cover and create vacuum there. You can also take your dipstick. There's two dipsticks on most of these motors. One in the back. This one's got a dipstick on it to tell you the oil level. And then typically on these Honda motors, there's another one. There's one right here in the front of the motor. I don't know if you can see, there's a little black cap down in there. See that black cap right in there? You can take that off and put a special fitting in there that has a barb on it, and you can connect a vacuum line to that. So what the pulse pump does is as the motor turns, a vacuum or pulse gets made inside the motor, and if you can trap that, you can create what this diaphragm needs to pulse. Mine has right in there, you can see this top line goes in and fits on a barb right back there. All right, you can see it too well, but there's a carburetor spacer. This black thing right here is a carburetor spacer, which you have on your carburetor, and that one is the same thing. It just has a little barb on it. You can buy these. I bought the carburetor spacer with a barb, put my hose on there, and then it comes down and attaches to my pulse pump. So it works perfectly. This hose goes up, connects that barb I just showed you in the back, and it makes the vacuum. This black hose is fuel in, this yellow hose is fuel out, and goes right to my carburetor right there. This hose right here goes to the tank. That's the original. And I just simply pulled it off and capped it. And if anything goes wrong with my pulse pump, I can simply reconnect it and put fuel in here. I'm also going to be installing a three-way valve like you would have on a motorcycle tank, where you have fuel and reserve and off, so we can choose to pull from the big tank or choose to pull from what this will now be the reserve tank. And I'll simply splice my line and put that right in there like that, and I'll have a little valve here to choose. I installed my new 26-gallon Boyd's fuel tank. Look at that beautiful thing. She's completely full. I filled it all the way up at the gas station just now. See, we've got a manual gauge here, working perfectly. 26 gallons full. These Boyd tanks are beautiful, very nicely made. I bought this from a friend of mine online who lives up in Massachusetts. He bought them for his rig, didn't use it, sold it to me. Came from Panhandle. It's beautiful. This is what they call a rollover vent. So if you were to, by chance, flip the truck over, I put this little pigtail on here like you would on a motorcycle dirt bike tank, just in case we get any overflow, any splash, it'll come out here instead. Very nice tank. Got it lagged in here with stainless lag screws on all 4 feet. And we're good to go. I ran my plumbing down around my PVC pipes there, around behind my soap tanks, and then I come in here underneath the 8-gallon machine right here, goes underneath, you can see in there, under the machines, right here, over to this one. And then this one just comes under here, right to this machine. And everything's working just the way it should. Beautiful. This machine works. Beautiful. Now I'll be able to run forever. What's really frustrating me about this machine over the last couple of weeks of using it is that I have to fill this up twice a day, and it's aggravating. I've had more than one occasion where it has run out of fuel on me because I'm not paying attention. I'm not used to this anymore. So this is a big upgrade for me. A lot of you guys are using this machine for commercial properties that you're working on, big things where you're gonna be running it for hours and hours. You definitely want to be upgrading to a pulse pump. There's a couple guys that make kits that remove the tank. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do this. The reason I mounted this here also is for easy access. If it does fail, which it will fail, it'll be easy for me to replace versus trying to mount it somewhere on the body of the machine itself. The 26-gallon fuel tank is a huge upgrade for us. I had the 11-gallon boat tank on there for a couple of years, which you see right there. And I go through 5 or 6 gallons of fuel per day. So every time I go out with, half a tank of 11, I'm never sure I'm going to get through the day. So I want it fueling up every single day. This machine or this tank should, fuel up every 3 days, maybe once a week. It's going to save me at least 2 or 3 or more trips to the fuel station every week, which saves me hours and hours and hours per month. Never mind for the course of the season. I did lag this machine to the bed of the truck now, so this machine doesn't move. This one I have not lagged yet. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to keep this machine or if I'm going to keep this machine on the truck. It is nice to have for a backup. We do love this one pull machine. However, I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing, so that's not lagged in yet. I did remove the tailgate from the truck. It makes it a little easier access for me back here. I'm not sure if I'm keeping it off or not, but I kind of like it for now. And I believe I'm going to be removing the hitch because I don't tow anything and putting a step in here instead to help me get up to my ladders a little more easily. But this is the big upgrade for me right now. This is something I've been wanting to do basically since I got this machine, and I'm real happy with it. Today, no washing. We had torrential rains, high winds all weekend. Today was raining until just now. So no washing for me today. This is to stop the vibration on here. This doesn't wear anything out. We've got a big day stacked for tomorrow, and we're busy every single week. I'm taking the time right now to fill my water tanks so I don't have to do it in the morning. And we got a fresh load of shock from Roberts today. So we've got 330 gallons sitting in the barn, and we'll be doing a transfer momentarily. All right, you guys, have a good night. Catch you this week.